Once there was a great sacrifice held at Prayaga, where sages and noble souls gathered. The great gods Brahma, Vishnu, and Lord Shiva also came, along with Sati. Everyone bowed to Lord Shiva with great reverence and devotion and enjoyed his blessings. Patriarch Daksha, who had been appointed the Lord of the whole universe, arrived after Lord Shiva had taken his seat. He was respected by all, but his honorable post made him proud and arrogant. As everyone paid tribute to Daksha, Lord Shiva remained seated, which enraged Daksha. He spoke ill of Lord Shiva and cursed him to be expelled from the family of gods. Nandishwar, a great devotee of Lord Shiva, was furious at Daksha's impudent behavior. He thundered, "You Brahmins are incapable of comprehending the real meaning of the word Deva. So, ignorant Brahmins like you shall be shameless beggars deluded by anger, attachment, and covetousness." Lord Shiva pacified Nandishwar and said, "O Nandin of great intellect, you have cursed the Brahmins in vain, thinking that I have been cursed. Verily, no curse can touch me, as I am the sacrifice, the sacrificial rites, the self of sacrifice, and you, this and these. In reality, I am all." The end. Nandishwar was calmed by Lord Shiva's wise words, but Patriarch Daksha became his enemy. Daksha arranged a grand sacrifice at the holy place of Kamkala with the evil intention of insulting and belittling Lord Shiva. All the gods and goddesses, saints, sages, and seers, including Brahma and Vishnu, were invited to attend. They were all housed in grand divine mansions with great respect and reverence, but Lord Shiva wasn't even given an invitation. The gods were unaware that Lord Shiva had not been invited due to their delusion. Sage Dadhichi, a devoted follower of Lord Shiva, informed Daksha that the sacrifice would be incomplete without the presence of Lord Shiva. In response, Daksha hurled insults at Lord Shiva, denouncing him as a shameless frequenter of cremation grounds surrounded by ghosts and goblins. Sage Dadhichi couldn't bear to hear such derogatory remarks about Lord Shiva. Sage Dadhichi, unable to bear the insult to Lord Shiva, left the sacrifice and returned to his hermitage. Many other devotees of Lord Shiva followed his lead. When Sati learned of the sacrifice, she was puzzled why her lord had not been invited. She sought Lord Shiva's permission to go to her father and ask him why he had committed such a wicked deed. She was also keen to know the reaction of the enlightened saints and sages to her father's misdeed. Lord Shiva granted Sati's request and instructed his attendants to accompany her as her bodyguards. Upon arriving at the site of the sacrifice, Sati noticed that all the gods had been given their shares except for Lord Shiva. In a fit of rage, she asked her father why her lord had not been invited. The sacrifice could not be successful without Lord Shiva's presence. Daksha looked at Sati sternly and asked her why she had come and who had invited her. He then denounced Lord Shiva as an inauspicious king of goblins, ghosts, and spirits, unworthy of being invited to such a holy sacrifice. Sati was deeply saddened by her father's disrespectful words towards her lord. She realized that she was the daughter of an ignoble father who denigrated Lord Shiva. She felt ashamed of her sinful body, which she had inherited from her wicked father. In front of the congregation, Sati declared that she would immolate herself and bitterly cursed her father Daksha to go to hell. She then threw herself into the yogic fire, which burnt away her sins and reduced her body to ashes. The loud cries and shouts of Ha echoed throughout the area, causing great terror. Many of Lord Shiva's attendants, overcome with grief, chose to die alongside Sati. The rest of the attendants attacked Daksha with their weapons. Sage Bhrigu, seeing the enraged invaders, poured offerings into the fire, summoning thousands of powerful demons called Rebhus. The Rebhus engaged in a terrible battle with Lord Shiva's attendants and killed many of them. After being defeated by the Rebhus, the attendants of Lord Shiva fled to Mount Kailasha. In a fit of rage, Lord Shiva, Rudra, plucked out a cluster of his matted hair and struck it against the tip of the mountain with a loud explosive sound, causing it to split in two. From the first half emerged the powerful Virbhadra, the fearless leader of the Ganas, and from the other half, the terrible Mahakali emerged, surrounded by crores of goblins. Lord Shiva commanded Virbhadra, "O valiant Virbhadra! Go and destroy the sacrifice of conceited Daksha." Virbhadra set off immediately at the head of a vast army to destroy Daksha's sacrifice. Mahakali also marched ahead, accompanied by 9 Durgas, namely Kali, Katyayani, Ishani, Mundmardini, Chamunda, Bhadra, Bhadra Kali, Dwarima, and Vaishnavi, and crores of goblins. Daksha, the patriarch, was filled with terror and fell at the feet of Vishnu, begging him for protection. At that moment, Virbhadra arrived with his army. When Vishnu prepared to fight, Virbhadra addressed him, "O Vishnu, the worst of Lord Shiva's enemies. Do you not understand the greatness and sanctity of Lord Shiva?" Vishnu responded, "O Virbhadra, I am a servant of Lord Shiva, but I am also subservient to my devotees like my Lord Shiva. I am here because Daksha is my devotee." A terrible battle erupted between Vishnu and Virbhadra. Eventually, Virbhadra stunned Vishnu's discus, chakra, and rendered it motionless. He then split Vishnu's Sharanga bow into 3 inner tries. When Vishnu realized that Virbhadra was invincible, he vanished from the scene. Daksha tried to escape in the guise of a deer, but Virbhadra caught him. Virbhadra killed Bhrigu and other sages hostile to Shiva, and the sacrifice was destroyed. Virbhadra then kicked Daksha's chest with his foot, seized his head, and threw it into the blazing fire pit. Thus, having accomplished his duties, the valiant Virbhadra returned to Mount Kailasha. The story of the sacrifice highlights the consequences of arrogance and disrespect towards others. The moral of the story is that one should always show respect and reverence towards all beings, regardless of their station in life or beliefs.